Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 in the Korean Baseball Organization with the NG Dinos. In our previous episode, we did not win the World Series again, the Korean Series. In fact, we barely made it in at all and got bounced out in the first round. Not a great look for us, for sure. But I think we can do better. Couple things before I get started. First things first, I've changed my home setup a little bit. My computer is now sitting on top of my desk. If you can hear my fan in the background, just leave me a quick comment. I don't know how much I can do about that, but I can at least reduce a decibel level or whatever in an OBS to try to filter that out. I did some test recordings. I didn't hear anything myself, but I'm also sitting right next to the computer, so I can kind of always hear it. So. But it should have been on the floor to begin with, so here we are. Item the second. I'm 99% sure what I'm going to do with the Negro League series, which there's going to be 2 to 3 episodes of this left, because they're about to start season 9. And yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I don't think I mentioned which team I picked to start out with, but I'm going to explain why I picked the team that I did. I picked the Boston Red Sox because in real life they're actually the last team to integrate Major League Baseball. The player was Pumpsy Green, and the year was 19. Let me see really quickly. I don't know why I can remember his name so clearly, but I don't remember when he started. 1959. So that's, 12 years after Jackie Robinson joined the Brooklyn Dodgers, so that's why I picked the Red Sox. And I haven't decided how we're going to do it yet, but I'll definitely cover that in a lot more detail in the opening of that first video of that series, so hope you're looking forward to that. I know that I am. Right. We got to rebuild the coaching staff. Pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. We need to get a first base coach, hitting coach, assistant coach, and bench coach. So we'd like somebody controlling. That seems like that would be a really good fit for us. I want to start with the hitting coach, because hitting coach is the one area I'm more likely to compromise on personality if I can get a really great coach out of it. Travis Denker is really, really good. I think we have to just go right for him. Done. I should have checked his fucking relationship. So, well, too late. A bench coach, I do want somebody that's a good fit for the club. Remember, we want either controlling or we want temperamental. I don't hate Min-Woo Lee, but are we good at teaching anything right now? Our third base coach is excellent with catchers and outfielders, really to infielders and base running. That's what we're looking for. Okay. No, we don't want easygoing. We want... Yeah, our people struggle with easygoing. We want controlling or temperamental or personable. Personable would not be an issue either. I'd like getting Luis Arredondo. He's have some decent relationships with most of the hitters. I think he's a good fit. Let's go ahead and grab him as our bench coach. Or our first base coach, either one, I guess. Do anybody who's amazing at teaching base running? James Brewer is temperamental and is just an excellent coach all the way around. Let's make him our first base coach. Our assistant GM, honestly, I care more about the personality than I do about anything else. I hit the wrong button. I'm a potato. You're normal and you like controlling. That's fine, but not what I'm looking for. You're controlling. And I think controlling is really what we'd like. Let's go ahead and hire Rudy Gomez. Because this GM has such a minor role when you're playing as the GM, I don't see a huge amount of value in fucking with things that way. I do need a pitching coach in late minors. Let's go with Shane Sanders. He's the sandiest. Right. Arbitration time. Woo. Okay. I'm not gonna overthink a lot of these deals. Like, Hyo's coming back. He wants a longer term contract, to be blunt with you. That's not gonna happen. He's gonna get his 1-year deal and he's gonna like it. Just because I've had exactly 1 year where he was a really great starting pitcher, I don't feel like it's a good investment to pour a bunch of money into him yet. Ewing is a different story. If Ewing wants to sign a longer term deal and doesn't want a huge amount of cash, I could see making that happen. The thing is, he's already 30, though. Let's stick with arbitration. We've still got 4 years left of that, so we can't lose him, and I just don't feel a rush. That's dealt with. Yoon Boon Kim, I still don't know what we have in him yet, but he's like a trivial sum to keep, so we're going to do exactly that. I will guarantee him the rotation, though, because I do intend on him starting for us. Alright. Jae Sung Han. I think I'm getting a little bit too focused on velocity with my pitchers in this game. That being said, his peripherals were pretty good. He did actually pitch well when we needed him to. Strikes people out, doesn't allow very many walks, keeps the ball relatively low. His WAR value would have been higher if he'd just gotten more innings. I think a very slight raise to him is a fair assessment. Done. The interesting part about Huangbo is hoping that he'll tap into his abilities. And the fact is, as a lefty killer, I am fairly content to let him have 1 more year. At a reduced salary, and of course we can, unlike with the MLB leagues, because I can just send people to the minors whenever I want to, I don't have to worry about overpaying people. Now, Jean, my friend, it's the walks, brother. You cannot stop walking people. It is getting to the point where it is no longer sustainable. As much as I love your talent level, the fact is you're never going to capitalize on it. I need to let you go. I don't think I'm going to be able to get much for you in trade, but I'm going to try. I would genuinely be quite shocked if we got anything at all offered to us. You know what? I will take Han. He's a really good pitcher, and I think he'll be a good shot in the arm to our team. Done. Complete trade. Let's go. Now, where's the new guy? He wants 400 grand. He's gonna get his 400 grand. I'm not making a closer, though. I've already got a closer. There you go. That took on a lot of salary, but he's a really good pitcher, so that doesn't bother me much. Do Young Kim 1,000% gets a new deal. No question. All right, Johan Lee is going to get a chance to be a full-time catcher this season. We have to see what we have in him, and so a one-year deal is reasonable. It is an acceptable price to pay for our player. All right. Ki Hyun Kim is a very good reserve player. If he is content with just being a reserve, I will give him this cash, and I will be happy about it. If he starts agitating for more playing time, I don't see that happening. Myung Chul Kim is such an interesting player. The problem is he's not getting enough playing time to improve sustainably. The question is what we have now good enough to give him the keys to the second base position? He's an excellent defender who might be able to hit okay. I think we have to give him the shot. I think we have to sign him again, and we have to just let him play second base. At least for part of the season. Get a couple hundred at bats and see what we can make out of him. I mean, Ji-Hoo Kim just keeps winning Gold Gloves. I see this reason. I don't think this season's going to be any different. Let's keep him around. I wouldn't necessarily object to signing him long term, but I'm not super keen on rushing into that decision. Here you go. Done. I cannot lose Cho. Come better or worse, Cho has been one of the most consistent hitters I've got. Like, I can't even consider keeping somebody in place of him. Like, that's not a thing that I can do. So I'm going to offer you a contract extension for 1 year. There we go. Song-Hui Kim still has so much raw potential. I am not even going to entertain the idea of trading him yet. I'm not. All it's going to take is for him to get a little bit hot at the right time, and we're going to be in really good shape with him. Let's not forget what we were in last time, though. Namely, the fact that our park eats right-handed batting a little bit. So we don't want to go too heavy on the righties. I like Song-Hyun Kim a lot. I still see... I don't know that I see greatness, but I do see high quality. So I think keeping Kim around for another season is just good business. Shae-Hyung Kim. I think we trade. Because his major calling card is defense, but he's actually not that good at it. He's got good range and a good arm, but he's very error prone. I think you're the first person I'm very clearly going to trade. And I will just look at all the offers, and I'm really not being offered very much, which makes some sense, right? Like, there's a certain level of other teams seeing what we see and not wanting to bother with him. I'm just going to non-tender him. I'd rather not pay him the salary because I don't think he'll ever turn out. Hae-Young Kim has an excellent chance at Newcomer of the Year. That being said, I cannot count on him being a genius player year in and year out. He's still more than earned an extension, though, for 1 year. That I cannot deny him. Ju Young Kim is so bloody smart. I think he's got a decent chance to reach his potential. I think keeping him on the roster does make some sense. And then lastly, Seong Ho Kim. He definitely needs to be retained. This could be the star we've been waiting for, or at least somebody star adjacent. There you go. I don't hate the idea of offering him arbitration, so I can try to get a contract extension with him. Min Kim, though, you can leave. Or can you? How much is it going to cost me to keep you? I can't afford to spend that much. You're going to have to find something else. I would be pretty surprised if any of these guys don't take my deal. Hopefully we can get some nice chemistry, make the team a little bit better off. James Brewer is apparently a rampaging asshole, which I didn't realize. He's good at his job, so I will figure it out. But here you go. You're legendary. Brewer can teach the infield. No, Blanco can teach the infield. No way I can have you teach base running. Yeah, I think it was Travis Denker is over the moon, but fucking Jim Brewer there hates his guts, so that's okay. I think we're just waiting on the assistant GM to sign, and then we'll have our coaching staff. Okay, people took new deals, including the assistant GM. Amazing. I really needed somebody else that was controlling. Like, I need 3 total people that are controlling, I think. I'm going to keep Brewer for 1 season, and I'm also just going to wait and see if we develop chemistry as the season progresses. Thanks, Mr. Agent. Look at that. Another glove wizard for Ji-Hoo Kim. That's got to be getting close to a league record, right? Awards. No, it's currently Jung Myung Kim has won 6 Gold Gloves in a row, as opposed to the mere 5 that Mr. Kim has acquired. Some Kim on Kim action there. Pardon me. I assume we got Newcomer of the Year. Yeah, we did. And it was unanimous, as I expected. That makes perfect sense. Alright, what do we want more than anything? I mean, a 28-year-old leadoff hitter would feel pretty nice. We could use one of those, but I don't think we can afford him. Okay. So what do we want more than anything? What is the one position we're weak at and could use additional help at? We could just use a strong hitter at any position. Maybe they take over at DH, who knows? I've already got a good second baseman in Ju-Won Kim. To go for a pitcher? Like, I wasn't planning to go for a pitcher with our extra foreigner, but maybe we should. I mean, I would love to get a truly elite pitcher like that, but I don't have that kind of money. Here we go, clear filter. I mean, you'd be a huge upgrade at catcher. That's for certain, but I can't afford you. A guy like Aiden Longwell, though, would actually play extremely well for us. Because he's got elite contact and power. He's a really good all-around hitter, and he's not a terrible outfielder. I think it just makes sense. Oh, wait a minute, he's left-handed. Is that good or bad? No, it's good. We like lefties. Yes, let's get Aiden Longwell. Oh, did What's-His-Face take the arbitration offer? I guess he didn't. Okay. Cool. That is true. That is true. It's really sad how Vientos used to be so bloody good, and then he just fell apart. That's a bit of a sad story. Couple of tears here and there. Wow, really? I mean, you had at least a chance to make the KBO. That sucks. I wonder what convinced him to retire at the age of 22. Oh, because I non-tendered him. And I guess nobody wanted him to be his friend. That's I'm sad. I didn't want him to retire, I just didn't want him on my team. I was actually hoping he'd do well with somebody else. Alright, I'm going to cut ticket prices to $10 each. Because I think it's actually going to increase attendance per game and get into that 10,000 thing he wants. Because let's be realistic here. I could upgrade a catcher, maybe. I'm not going to find a top 10 prospect, I don't think. I'm definitely not going to get anywhere near a top 2 farm system. I guess it's not realistic. Not without deliberately tanking. And I can't do that. It's out of my DNA. If we suck because we suck, then that's fine. But it's also really stupid to tank in baseball. Like, I know it worked out for the Houston Astros, where a long-term tank actually made them the team that they won a couple World Series, but the fact is, you can't guarantee that any pick in the draft is going to work out. That's how baseball works. I am over the moon that the Guardians are the first overall pick in the next draft, and I'm not going to see that player in the big leagues for 3 to 4 years. And that's what makes it so silly to tank in baseball. In football, basketball, the NBA, I get all that. That actually makes some sense to me. But the rest of this, not so much. I have way too many people in the rookie league. But it's fine. I have too many outfielders. I truly have too many outfielders. I'm going to have to figure something out. Because I basically have 4 spots right now. I have 3 outfield spots and 1 DH spot. I want to get Myung-Chul Kim some playing time, but not the expense of Ju-Won Kim, who's actually been a really good player and had his best year of his career last year. So these are the problems a GM must mull over when constructing the best version of his team. Gio Urshela has played enough in the KBO to be potentially worthy of a Hall of Fame vote. That's funny. That is high fucking hilarious. I'm just picking people random right now. Like, everybody here is genuinely worthy of induction. Like, genuinely. So I'll just vote for random people and hope it all works out. I mean, I guess I can't argue with that, Bobby. You gotta have a face to keep your head guts in. That's how it works. A very quiet off season, but I think still a very, very good one. And I think we made the right decision in acquiring the player that we did. Finally Kim gets in. Nice. Poor Gio Urshela. Poor guy. Right. I sure do have this thing for pitchers that can't fucking throw strikes, don't I? I'm still gonna give him a chance though, because we do need some nice new blood in spring training, perhaps. I like how by OPS, Tyler Hill was the second best player in the league last year, and nobody has signed him. They're just like, nah, we're good. Fuck that guy. So first things first, Shea-Ho Lee is a really good reliever. And I'm perfectly happy to have him. Young-Woon Kim is interesting, and all you're asking for is Hyo-Kon Hwang and Jin-Ho Kim. Done. I'm not even going to hesitate. It's a flat-out upgrade. It truly is. And I'm very pleased to have that new pitcher on our team. Wow, dude. Okay. I mean, I can't argue with you. It's your fucking team. You want to cut my budget, you can cut it, but that seems kind of like a dick move when I brought in a player of that caliber for pennies. I'm gonna give him a 1 year extension because I think there's very little chance that he won't be good enough. But we'll see what happens. There we go. Here's my negotiation skills. Would you like more money? And he says, yes, I would. And that's how it turned out. Alright. So, spring and Z training. You can have a spring training spot. If you could handle center field at all, I would consider giving you a shot in spring training because I do want some more depth there. But alas, you suck at it, so yeah. Kay can get some reps. I think it's under options. No, it's under players. No, is it under rules? Yes, place it on current ratings, please. We also need to trim a lot of fat out of our minor leagues. Like we have all these players that are mediocre or worse. We got to be cutting them off. Add filter. Potential is less than 35. Cut. That feels better. Now our minor league roster is a little more manageable, which means hopefully the right players will get the most playing time. Alright, amigos. Do your thing. Do your thing. Really? What is with your weird fucking obsession with putting people in the rotation that don't fucking belong there? I don't get it. I truly do not understand why on earth. No. Fuck you, game. I'm not taking genuinely good starting pitchers and benching them because you're a weird fucking obsession with making closers into starters. You're a fucking reliever. You'll never be anything but a reliever. Steve Garvey, don't be full of shit. Please don't. I know he's dead, so what the fuck ever, but like, this whole thing that, oh, the players of my day cared about the team. No, they didn't. They cared about them fucking selves as much as they cared about the team, and you know it. Don't be like that. Don't be that genuinely disingenuously stupid. Okay. Dong Hwan Kim losing velocity is not a great look for him. Okay. Nothing too crazy happened, which is fine. Let's finish a couple of days, and then we will set our roster. Alright, let's set up the roster. So I presently have 17 pitchers, which is incredibly excessive. I think 13 feels like a good number. So's gonna miss 3 months, so that's one easy choice. Dealt with. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. Now 12 pitchers. I think that's one too few. Let's add in Kim. Kim's ability to throw for strikes is going to make it useful at the back half of the bullpen. So I'll get rid of more. I don't think rid of one position player. Which it should be two. Is our opening to roster 26 or 28? It's 28. I'm confused. How do I have 29 players? Oh, okay. I do need to go to just one player. Okay. I'm gonna send Shang-Hui Kim to the minors. I think that's gonna be my choice there. Alright. Let us set up the pitching staff first. On is clearly our ace. Yoon clearly gets a starting spot. Kim and Shin both clearly get one. No, sorry, Hyo gets one. For certain. And then it's the Kim and Shin connection to fill out the back end of our rotation. Done. I've only got one other pitcher who's got enough stamina to maybe fill in as a starter if we need him to, which is Han. So Han, you're going to be emergency starter, long reliever. All right. Our best pound for pound pitcher is still Angel Felipe. But the thing is that Felipe really struggled badly last season. So the question is, can we trust him again? And if we can't trust him, which perhaps I can't, then who actually becomes our closer? Probably Do Yoon Kim would be my first choice. So let's go ahead and make him the closer. And then let's use Angel Felipe as our setup guy beginning in the 7th inning. Huang Bo is our lefty killer, who can occasionally throw the odd middle relief inning. And then everyone else is going to do middle relief. And it's just a question of making sure that somebody gets the ball a bit more frequently. But if I used Han in a different role? What if I did that? I don't know. It just seemed like such a waste to make him the back end of the bullpen guy when he's such a good pitcher. No, change of plans. No, I have to keep him in. I have to keep him in that role. Damn it. Dong Kwon Kim is going to be our avoid high leverage type. He's the back end of the bullpen guy. That's his job. Alright, guys. That's fine for the pitching staff. Let's set up the lineup. Clear all of the lineups. So we have 3 hitters that are all pound for pound really, really effective, which means they probably need to be slotting in a 2, 3, and 4 in some order. Or hell, even let Brett Wisely hit leadoff. Although it seems like kind of a waste given his power. But I do think he'd be the best fit. He's a little slow though. I do want some ability to steal bases potentially. Alright, let's go ahead and let Ju Won Kim be our starting second baseman and hit leadoff again. His on-base skills are so elite that I think he makes a perfect choice. Then I think we go Longwell, Wisely. No, sorry. Kim, Wisely, Longwell, Cho. Yeah, you can DH. Cho. Alright. Then Jaehoon Lee hits 6th. Ji-Hoo Kim definitely hits 9th. And then probably Hae-Yeon Kim and Jo Hyun Lee. That seems good. You're too important to the team as our leadoff hitter to only play you once every 3 games, but I do want him to get, let's say, every 5 games. Seems good. One of our most important advantages this season is that we have more consistently solid left-handed bats who will thrive a bit more in our ballpark. All right, my friends, let's get some baseball done. Hey, Jinho Bay's top 5. Nice. Nice. I do need to be a little bit quicker on the draw. If we are falling behind quickly, we need to do something to change things up a little bit. But at least in the beginning here, I'm going to be a little bit lenient. But I'm not going to make any changes based on April unless something really crazy is happening. But the season is just way too short to deal with players that are performing at less than their best. Or at least below their talent level for too long. Especially when some players have this similar or... Oh, really, fuckhead? You're going to kill my best pitcher just for the lulz. Jerk. I need a new starter. And all my choices are terrible. I mean, Jae-Hyun Kim is not good. And it just gets worse from there. I'm going to try to trade Sung-Ho Kim really quick for a starting pitcher and see if I can make that happen. Hey, Jinwook Choi, welcome to the NG Dinos. There we go. Alright, so that's that dealt with, at least for now. But yeah, our problem is we have a bunch of outfielders that are roughly the same skill level with roughly the same tools. And we just need to figure out which one of them can actually capitalize on those tools and be a really good fit for us. Alright, Brett Wisely would like to get a new contract. I'm sure he would. Stop making him pitch. That is not his job. Oh my god. Whatever, man. Whatever. It's driving me a little bit crazier each and every day. It's fun. The fact is, I can't bring you back, my friend. It costs too much money. How are things looking so far? The lineup is more or less solid. Ju-Won Kim is off to an ice-cold start. He's 28 years old and has a history of being a decent producer. I think we have, like, of all the players on this roster, he has to have the right to ride it out. But everyone else is performing at a pretty solid level. Our pitching depth isn't really bad, though, which is weird. That I think will solve itself, but it is something worth monitoring. Let's just do another month, and see what happens as things start to balance out the way they should. I cannot seem to put together like more than 1 or 2 wins in a row. We gotta go on a nice streak at some point here. Like, I can't just keep losing because my pitching can't keep me in the game. For so long, pitching was our strength par excellence, and now all of a sudden we can't put together consistent pitching performances. We're basically playing like we're about a 500 team, and that's how we're performing too. Like, thank goodness for Brett Wisely, because otherwise we'd be in a lot of trouble. Kim is throwing harder. The problem is he's not necessarily throwing better. Yeah, you're not coming back either, mate. You can't stop walking people. At least this year is striking people out at a really high rate. That makes up for it, but yeah. Alright. The lineup is fine. I'm not going to mess with this at all. Jae-Hyun Lee is struggling a little bit. But in reality, he's actually just like league average. And I think there's still more to be had there, so I'm happy to let him stick around. Like, again, Ji-Hoo Kim, guys, is hitting. And if he's hitting, look the fuck out if you're the other team. This is awful. As a franchise, we are not pitching well. And the thing is, I don't know what to do about it, because it's not just 1 or 2 guys, and I don't have starting pitching to make a replacement with. I just don't. Jin-Ho Bae, for whatever reason, isn't improving with his overall. And I definitely can't pitch him now. Like, if I pitched him right now, he would get murdered in the big leagues. He truly would. And that's our big issue, right? Our big issue is that none of our young pitching prospects are ready for the big leagues yet, which means if we want to upgrade the rotation, it has to come from without. And I just don't know how we make that happen. Let's look at the peripherals first. Before we start judging pitchers, let's look at Jin-Wook Choi. He's actually been fairly good with us. He had a rough start to his season with the Landers, but since joining the Dinos, he's improved significantly. He's striking people out. He's walking a few too many, but that's a pretty common refrain for our people. Most critically is keeping the ball down. This is fine. I think Jin-Wook Choi will be a fine pitcher going forward. Ewing is already pitching amazing. I don't need to talk about him at all. Yoon Jong-ho is pitching at a pretty good level. There's a lot to like about him, and I think he'll be fine as well. It's these 2 fuckers that are the big problem. First, Kim. Kim is walking people like they're going out of style. You're a 25-year-old kid. Why the fuck are you on a pitch count? No. No pitch count. I want you to stay in the game so you can stretch out your arm. Shin is equally disappointing. Maybe more so. Shin is just giving up home runs all of a sudden. And I guess it's not too surprising given his movement. I'm going to try to trade Shin for another starting pitcher. Let's go for a good old-fashioned challenge trade. I will add in a prospect. Especially if they're really far away, or if I don't think they're going to be that helpful. I would add in Byung-Suk Kim because I don't need a center fielder who can't center field. Really? What if I eat some or all of his salary? What if I eat all of his salary? I mean, Seung-Min Lee is better than Shin. There's no question about that. So let's do it. I'm gonna see if I can get you to eat more of his salary, so I don't have to eat the whole thing. The thing is, I was looking for a one-to-one replacement, and that's why I kind of was trapped and offering more than I wanted to. But I still think we made the right call. I still think we did. The bullpen seems more or less okay. The bullpen will figure it out. And we'll eventually get that one guy back from injury, and that'll help us out quite a bit. That'll really stabilize the rotation. This is a really tough league this year. Every team is in good position to make a run. Really, Kim? You dumb fucker. Aiden Longwell, snort. That's what she said. I think letting Ramsey's contract expire makes some sense, even though he's been a fairly good coach for us, because we need to get this chemistry under control. And since Fuckhead McGear hates personable people, that'll help. That'll help. Okay, so we got So back. This is such critical news that I'm very pleased. I'm gonna accept that the Mr. Kim just isn't very good. I'm gonna send him to the minors, and we're gonna activate so. Right. Yes. Can we like make On go under experimental surgery so that he recovers quicker? Because I think we're desperately gonna need him if we're gonna be successful. Especially if we're planning on making a run in the playoffs. Um, So my problem is this: I don't have any money for extensions because of On. Essentially, On is making most of our money. So now we're going to lose Wisely, Felipe, and Hyo. There's really much nothing I can do about any one of them. Wisely's the only one that hurts because Wisely's actually a really good player for us. The rest of you fuckers, not so much. How we're doing position player? We're second in runs scored. Wisely, Longwell, and Cho are a really good core. Jae-Hyun Lee is really struggling. To the point where I probably need to consider benching him. It's not been a banner year of accomplishment for him. Like, here's the thing: it is impossible to say that we would be better offensively if we put Kim in for Lee. I could play Dongjin Kim, but the thing is, he can't really play third base that well. Do I have a reasonable third base option? I do not. Most of my best players are outfielders. If I trade Kim, I will regret it. I've never felt more strongly about something in my life. He's such a good all-around player, apart from his glove, that if I let him leave, I will regret it for the rest of my days. Yes. I'll be right back, friends. I need to think about this for a minute. Give it a thinky think. Okay, so let's talk this through. Right now, we have several second base and third base options. Theoretically, our best two players are Jae-Hyun Lee and Ju-Won Kim. In terms of both offense and defense, they offer the most to the table. Now, Ju-Won Kim is an average to above average defender. He's not brilliant at it, but combined with his on-base skills and his overall offensive approach, he's a really useful player. He's not that bad defensively. We have Ki-Hyun Kim. Mr. Kim here is only because of his positional versatility. He's a terrible hitter with little to no offensive value. I hate to sugarcoat it, but that's how it is. He sucks. If I had an interesting infield prospect, I would probably call him up. But alas, such a thing does not exist at the moment. Myung-Chul Kim is a very good defender with an average bat, maybe slightly below average. If we want to go pure defense, I would probably play Kim at second base. And then move Ju-Won Kim to third. Dong-Jin Kim is an interesting and talented hitter, but he is not a very good third baseman. We'd essentially be punting on defense. Jae-Hyun Lee is both great at defense and normally a good hitter. Here's his issue. Because his plate discipline is low, that means when his bat isn't hot, that he's going to struggle to be of much use offensively. He does draw some walks, but his very high strikeout rate, combined with a general lack of power this year, is what's holding us back. He is a reasonably good defensive third baseman. So based on the players we have, our real choice is either bench Lee, play Ju-Won at third, and play Myung-Chul at second, or do nothing. And as much as I hate to say it, doing nothing sounds like the right call. Which just feels gross, I know, but I think it's what has to happen right now. Short of acquiring an infielder by trading like Yoon-Boon Kim, which I will try, I don't see another option. I truly do not see another option. And you're only offering me first baseman, which I kind of expected. Meh. Meh. Not enticing at all. What if I added Kyung-Yeon Kim? Again, they're saying he'll never play center field. That makes the offer worse. So I will politely decline and see if there's maybe somebody we can grab at the trading deadline. But we're just going to keep going with what we've got for right now. And hope that he just has a better second half of the season and figures out how to hit again. That's all I can really hope for. Our offense is also very, very streaky. Like, we'll put up like 7 or 8 runs in one game and then put like 2 to 3 runs in the next 3 games. Really? You cannot take one of my starters away, you fucking asshole game. Stop it. Right now. Oh my god. I'm running out of good options here. Let's see if Yoon-Boon Kim has figured out how to fucking pitch in his brief time in the minors, because I sure don't have many other choices here. Our starting pitching staff has gone from a strength to a joke. Our pitching is just not good enough to support what's actually been a pretty good offense this year. A pretty solid top to bottom offense. Already note, Hae-Jung Kim can't hit over 300. His value dipped significantly. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I didn't get too invested in him. Okay, we scored 15 runs. That's going to be like 3 weeks of no runs. Are you shitting me, game? You're just going to keep injuring my players, huh? Thankfully, outfield is an injury I can soak a little bit better. Song-Hui Kim, I choose you. But as far as playing left field every day, Interesting question. I consider using Ju Young Kim just because he's left-handed. Let's try it. Let's get Mr. Kim rolling here. I'm playing left field. Which makes me incredibly sad because Brett Wisely's been one of the best players in the league, and he's basically single-handedly dragging us into having a potent offense. Taking 2 out of 3 from the number 1 team is definitely going to help us out a lot. But then we can't lose like several games back to back. Poor Daehyun and Kim. If he'd hung on a little bit longer, he would have had a decent chance to get back into the majors, but alas, no such luck. Just cannot put together a sustained... Oh my god, quit fucking crippling my players, game. I mean, granted, like, he's a backup third baseman, so he's not that critical, but it's still frustrating as hell that I keep losing position play, especially when I don't have any infielders. I'll use Yang Chan Kim. Why not? I don't know why you won't start Jin Ho Bae. That's so funny to me. But whatever. I do feel bad for the guy, in all honesty, but... Here we go. Like, we're in a position that if we can find the right fit, I think the trading deadline could do us a world of good. The problem is that I don't know that that player exists, and that we can afford the cost for him. Like, here's my issue. Like, point blank, I can't afford this shit. I cannot afford your ridiculous prices. Hinohosa could be a potential choice, I suppose. Weren't you literally on my team very recently? No? Okay. Yeah, see, this is the issue, is that I can't afford these players. I don't have the 1 year salary to absorb them. I like Sheho Lee a fair bit, actually. But I can't give you Choi. I could give you Han, though, so I will. There you go. We really need an upgraded starting rotation, though. That's what we really need. And I just don't know where that comes from. Especially in a revenue neutral way. That's the other issue, is that I don't have a lot of money to spend. Wait, how are foreign players ineligible to be traded, and yet I'm seeing foreign players in the list? Okay, it's just glitching out. Okay, that makes you feel slightly better. Yeah, I did the only move that I could do, which is upgrade the bullpen slightly. There aren't good starters being offered because people are very sensibly keeping those. I mean, Jack Robinson's had the number retired by every major league team, but your point is taken. Cool. Anything we could do about the lineup? The lineup isn't brilliant. It's good enough, and I think we could really use Cho back because Cho just offers us that extra bit of pop. Although Cho hasn't played that well. Huh. I might yet Ju Young Kim, especially if he can perform at a decent level, have a chance to stick around even after Cho comes back. That's interesting. I would not have expected it. It's only a week. I'm not even going to bother putting you on the IL. It's not worth it. We'll figure it out. Guys, if we can't put the pedal to the fucking metal, we might miss the playoffs. Like, I just want that out there. We've got to start winning a lot of games in a row. That is the objective, after all. Like, I don't need us to get, like, nuclear hot. I just want us to be more than lukewarm. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for room temperature, basically. I just need to see us win 4 or 5 games in a row to put some distance between us and the non-playoff teams. That is what we need, most importantly. And then we can worry about positioning. But if we don't make the playoffs, then the rest of this is a moot discussion. So We just got to keep beating up on teams and scoring runs and hoping that we can make it into the playoffs. All right, Mr. Cho can return. Mr. Cho, I'm going to have you rehab in the minors. Oh, really? I can't send you to the minors? Interesting. The thing is, even if Zhu Young Kim isn't hitting for a ton of pop, he's drawing a lot of walks and hitting for decent contact. He's a very useful player to have, and to that end, I think the time of Cho is probably done with the KBO. With our team, anyway. The only thing Cho does is hit home runs. And while that's incredibly valuable, it's not good enough at the end of the day. Nice. Let's try to get us some real good players in the draft, yo. I would do several homicides to get Jun Seo Bei on our team, and it's not going to happen. But I just want that on the record. We have to. I can't overthink this. I need an injection of talent into my rotation, and I need it now. And he offers that. I have to do it. Even if it means passing up on a really high caliber prospect, the thing is, he's good for the majors right now. Alright. Yong Tae Kong is a really good player with absolutely no position. I trust him nowhere. He's also a reasonably good pitcher. Maybe his value is as a pitcher slash DH. That could work. I'm willing to give that a shot. He's just got so much upside that it's worthwhile. Ji-Hoon Kim offers elite power, but not a whole lot else. I will go for Kyung Bae Kim. He seems... no. I need infielders. You are not an infielder. You're closer. I will take you. Han Kyu Kim is a really good defender. I will grab that and hope we can maybe figure out how to hit. That'd be pretty dope. Wait, how on earth are you eligible for our draft? What? I mean, I'm gonna take it, but that's weird. I wonder how an American is eligible to be drafted in the KBO's draft, but okay. I must have all of the Yoon Boon Kims. No, not this guy. He sucks in the field. Or is he a decent outfielder? He's a terrible outfielder. Okay. I will happily take you, Mr. Jong Hyun Kim. I will draft you. I'm going really hard for infielders this draft, but I think it's worthwhile because we've done such a good job building up our outfield. I think we do need these other players here. I could get Yoon Boon Kim and just make him play first base, so I guess I'll do that. And you can have the last few. All your own. Hey, guess what? Yoon Boon Kim, you get to stay. So gets to go, actually. Or can we go to the bullpen, and we can get rid of a bullpen guy, like Dong Won here. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, new kid. What happened? What? Okay, I'm confused. Why did nobody get sent down? I just sent somebody down. Am I losing my mind? Probably. Okay, demoted Duong Hoan Kim, so why don't I have a roster spot? I'll send down Kim and call up Bay. Bay instantly gets a rotation spot. That's why I drafted you. And, I have 12 pitchers now. What did I do? Oh, it put Keener into the majors. I didn't want that. Oh. So by selecting Jim Keener, I have to have him in the major leagues, which I can't do because I give me too many foreigners. God damn it, game. So I basically pissed away a second round draft pick for nothing. That's fun. I was like, why on earth can I not have both pitchers? And all of a sudden it's painfully obvious. Because my idea was to keep Kim, but make So into a reliever, where I think he'll be even better. Because I think if we turn him into a reliever... No, actually, it's not that much better. Huh. Well, that's fine. I can't believe I wasted a second round draft pick on a player I'll never get to use. That was so stupid. That was lame. Why did you do that to me, game? Why did you torment me? It's my own fault for not checking the rules more closely. I own that. But that's still frustrating. What are we playing for at this point in the season? We're in a decent spot regardless of playoffs. I don't think we have a huge chance to catch up and get the number one seed, but let's just keep winning and see what happens. I'd like to win more baseball games, team. Can you do that for me? Just score more runs than the other team. It couldn't be any simpler. That seems like less runs than the other team. That's better. Good, Anakin. Good. And then we lost it again. I'm fairly sure... Does this game matter? It does. If we win... We get the number 3 seed. And there's nothing that the Eagles can do about it. We just have to win the damn game. Which we did in 10 innings. Not ideal, but I'll live with it. So we get one additional week of rest, basically, is how this is going to play out. Okay. Alright. So now I gotta set up our pitching staff. To be fucking clear, you're both going in the bullpen. For a 5-game series, you're both going in the bullpen. And you can be a middle reliever, long reliever. I've got to trust the starters who got me here, which is Yoon, Hyo, and Choi. I'd love to keep Hyo if I can, but I don't think I can afford it. Oh, I could afford it. Pitching is so hard to come by. I think I'm kind of over a barrel here, and I have to give him an extension. As much as I don't want to. Yeah, we're going to do it. The best offense in the KBO this year, which is wild. We're going to need it. That's not how you do it, guys. Come on, lads. No! Quit not scoring runs. Granted, that was the pitching melting down. That's fair. Come on, don't get me swept again. Please. Please. Don't. Oh my god. Look, let me be clear. Our pitching staff shit the bed. Like, they were really bad this entire series. Except for game 1. And even then, Choi's still the reason we lost. That doesn't fucking help that a catcher had a passed goddamn ball, but... Yang was also just genuinely spectacular. And it's hard to do much when the other guy's pitcher is just that much better. Yoon got tore apart, and their guy hung on. Again, that's the only thing that changed, but it's all they needed. And then nothing went well in the final game. Just nothing at all. Fucking Ryan Papiot comes in, strikes out 10. Fucking Hyo comes in, walks 5. Oh my god. Like, we need to figure something out. We need big game pitchers desperately. Desperately. Or to be perfectly honest with you, I don't see how we're going to make it consistently and even go deep in the playoffs. Like, we haven't even won a game the last 2 years in the postseason. We just choke, apparently, when we hit the postseason. These fucking LG Twins are out. Those guys are such jerks. Like those fucking Varna Dolphins. I hate them so much. Y'all remember them. I know you do. Oh, good for the Doosan Bears, I suppose. Good for them. But, not happy. Not pleased. You let me down, team. You let me down. Oh, and my scouting director retired. Well, that'll be something to do next episode. My market size is big now, though. All right. Why were we successful we were this year? What was our skill here? What were we good at? First of all, Brett Wisely had an MVP caliber season. That's a great start. For all of our concerns about Ju-Won Kim earlier on in the season, he actually bounced back to turn in nearly the same year he did last year, just with a few more ABs. Ji-Hoo Kim continues to drive play with his defense. Look, Ju Hyun Lee was given the keys to the catching kingdom, and he actually performed really well. I'm really proud of him. Seong Ho Kim turned in a pretty solid season. There's still more here, but I'm happy with what we've got so far. Aiden Longwell ended up being a very positive offensive performer. For a guy who didn't start, Myung-Chul Kim has proven that he probably could handle second base. It's also by far the best offensive year of his career, and I certainly wouldn't count on that happening again. Jae-Hoon Lee was a big issue. If I had my way, I would be like, you're going to learn how not to fucking strike out, jerkface. Because that's the big difference between last season and this season. He struck out so many more times, which means he didn't get the bat on the balls often, which hurt both his power production and everything else about him. So a down year for Lee, to be sure. And Ju Young Kim ended up having an okay season. Certainly not a perfect one, but I think he's earned consideration to be a starting outfielder next year. And Hae Young Kim crashed back down to earth, as I expected. Wasn't even that good defensively. It's hard to find a good center fielder. It truly is difficult. The bench was fine. Before I do anything else, I'm going to trade Seijin Cho while I'm thinking about it. I think we have to make a move. He's getting expensive. And I think somebody's going to give us a decent sum for him. Really? If I put in $2 million and just got the cash for him, that would be nice. Because I don't want Cho anymore. I think, like, in 2 of the last 3 years, he's been subpar. And I think last year tricked me. Because you look at his 2029 and 2031 numbers, they're very, very similar. So, he's on the way out. Oh, let me look at all players, actually. Okay, that literally adds nothing of consequence. Okay. Cool. How'd the pitching do? Not great. That's going to be my guess. Yoon was decent. Min Kim was really good. Hyo, Do-Yoon Kim, Choi were all fine. I think the problem is we didn't have a pitcher step up this year. We didn't have somebody take the ball every day and go, I'm just going to dominate and carry the rest of the team on my back. And that's something we desperately need. We desperately need somebody to be a front-running pitcher to carry us when nobody else can. And let me be clear, we have that pitcher now. But An can't keep getting hurt. He cannot keep getting hurt. We have a lot of money invested in this fucker, and so he should be giving us top quality performances, which he presently is not. So this is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. We get one more season to try to win our second Korean series. On the whole, I am reasonably pleased with how we've performed as a franchise. We've made 3 Korean series, one of which came down to the final game. We have just struggled to be consistent. We have struggled to we've struggled to have superstars play like superstars consistently, and I think the lack of variety in our outfield, where we've had like 6 B plus outfielders every year, has been hurting us too. I've also really suffered in this league more than most about I need to keep my existing players because otherwise they'll get worse, without really taking time to look into those numbers and thinking about what I want from this team, what we do well, what we don't do well, and going after it. The good news is this is one of the best offenses we've ever had. And there's enough holes that are readily filled that we could do better. We could. But we'll have to see if we can win a second one for us before we say so long to the KBO. Until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.